Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day, thanks in large part to our pals at the VFS School of Game Design. Thank you so much, Vancouver Film School. Today's rundown is dedicated to a person named DJ Uncle Jay. I think the real name there is Johnny. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday. Here's a rundown for you. It turns out that playing the first Destiny game may not have been a waste of time for those of you planning to jump into Destiny 2. Bungie has revealed that there will be special perks and bonuses in Destiny 2 for people who played the first game. That's according to game director Luke Smith, who in a new fan Q&A video hosted by Wired revealed that they're planning something special in the new game that will reward players who finished the last one. He didn't reveal exactly what something special will be, so we'll have to wait until the game arrives to find out. Whatever it is, it's sure to be welcome news for returning players. When Bungie first announced Destiny 2, many established players were disappointed to learn that the new game would mostly be starting fresh, with none of your hard-earned weapons and armor from the first game carrying over. This was especially annoying given that Bungie had implied that your progress would carry over back when they launched the first game in 2014. Destiny 2 will deploy on the PS4 and Xbox One next week, with the PC version set to follow on October 24th. As for what's coming down the road, in the same Wired video, Luke Smith revealed that Bungie is already thinking about future games, so the story in Destiny 2 will lay the groundwork for Destiny 3. They haven't said if your progress will carry over into that game, so keep that in mind as you're grinding for loot in Destiny 2. You don't need to be impatient for new games to play on the PlayStation VR. Supermassive Games, the British developer behind the horror game Until Dawn, its VR spin-off Rush of Blood, and the puzzle game Tumble VR, has announced release dates for 2 more PlayStation VR games, and they're both coming before the end of the year. First up, their new psychological horror game, The Inpatient, which takes place in the same universe as Until Dawn, will check out on November 21st. The game takes place in the dreaded Blackwood Sanatorium from Until Dawn, with players taking the role of a patient who struggles to navigate the asylum as well as the inner workings of his own mind.
You understand I want what's best for you.
2 weeks after that, Supermassive Games will follow it up with their VR shooter Bravo Team on December 5th. This one is an intense military combat shooter and is compatible with the PSVR AIM peripheral. If you're counting, these will be the 3rd and 4th VR titles released by Supermassive Games in just 1 year. The studio's executive producer Simon Harris says that they're very excited about what VR has to offer and are anxious to experiment with different types of VR games. He adds that both the Inpatient and Bravo Team showcase their passion for immersion and innovation, so we can't wait to give them a try. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is such a big hit, it looks like other developers are starting to borrow from it. The online Battle Royale game has apparently inspired a new mode included in the latest update for Grand Theft Auto Online. The new update, called Smuggler's Run, was released yesterday and includes, among other things, a new PvP mode called Motor Wars. Teams of players are dropped into a large arena filled with different weapons and vehicles, with the goal of fighting to the death until only one team is left standing. Sound familiar? Although Rockstar Games says the new mode is meant to be a combination of 2 existing modes called Drop Zone and Penned In, anyone who's played it can tell you it bears a striking resemblance to Battlegrounds. This shouldn't surprise anyone. Game developers are constantly borrowing ideas from each other, and a game as popular as Battlegrounds is definitely going to start a few trends. Also, Rockstar has made more than their fair share of groundbreaking titles themselves, and there's even an entire subgenre of GTA ripoffs out there, so it's only fitting that they would borrow from someone else for a change. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is still in early access on Steam, with the final version expected to hit the PC and Xbox One before the end of the year. It's the dawn of a customizable new age for Dawn of War 3. Vancouver-based Relic Entertainment has released the latest patch for their real-time strategy game, and it adds built-in modding tools for the first time. This means players can now freely mod the game and create their own custom content like new characters, weapons, and missions. And the patch also makes the game compatible with Steam Workshop, so you'll have a place to share your creations with the rest of the online community. The customary balancing tweaks and bug fixes are also included in the patch, along with a new autosave feature for the story campaign. Dawn of War 3 was released earlier this year and was received well by critics, although some fans were disappointed, saying that changes to the gameplay made it feel more like a modern MOBA and not a classic RTS like the previous games. Don't be surprised if players use the new mod tools to address those concerns themselves. Expect more patches for Dawn of War 3 in the coming months. Relic Entertainment recently announced their next big project, Age of Empires 4. That's expected to arrive next year. The light that burns twice as bright can only burn half as long, but I guess sometimes it can burn longer than normal. It looks like the new movie Blade Runner 2049 will be longer than most big Hollywood movies, a lot longer. According to the official website of the film's Russian distributor, the runtime clocks in at 2 hours and 43 minutes. This runtime hasn't been confirmed by American distributor Warner Brothers, but if it's true, it would make Blade Runner 2049 the longest Hollywood blockbuster since Christopher Nolan's Interstellar was released in 2014. It also makes the new film about 45 minutes longer than the original Blade Runner, which comes in at just under 2 hours.
The light that burns twice as bright burns half as long.
Earlier this summer at Comic-Con, Blade Runner 2049 director Denis Villeneuve revealed that they were aiming to make the new movie around 2.5 hours, so it appears they've decided to make it a little longer than expected. This isn't too big a surprise given that the film has a lot of different characters and complicated ideas to grapple with, although it remains to be seen how general audiences will respond. Big Hollywood films typically come in around the 2-hour mark because it makes it less likely for audiences to get bored, and shorter run times also mean that a film can be shown more times in a day, which leads to more ticket sales. Blade Runner 2049 lands in theaters October 6th.
I know.
That wraps up the rundown for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to learn more about game design, visit our friends at VFS.edu. You know, we'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new episode for you. But in the meantime, watch some of the other stuff that we've been making. And if you dig it, hit subscribe, all right?